right. Here we are. Got a little bit of light on here for a second. Give y'all a chance to come on in. Hallelujah. All right. Give y'all a chance to come on in here for a minute. Y'all want to pass the word around. Let everybody know that PastorDowell is live. And what I've got to say to us this morning, this evening, this afternoon, or whatever, or wherever you find yourself listening to me in the world, I hope you're really, truly paying attention. So y'all go ahead and send out the message to everybody you know that PastorDowell is live so they can jump on in and listen to what I've got to say today. Shalom, shalom to each and every last one of you. So y'all go ahead and invite your friends, the Israelites, your enemies, the foes, all of you, because what I've got to say today in this particular broadcast right here, it would behoove everybody to listen and to pay attention. So y'all go ahead and contact everybody. Get on the phone. Tell everybody PastorDowell's live. I got a very important message. All right. Well, there's a lot of things going on in the world, and this is not what I'm talking about today. Well, we know that the Queen of Great Britain has passed away, and that leaves Charles in succession now. Kind of makes you wonder, Queen of what? King of what? I mean, after all, do they even really, truly, does Parliament, anybody even pay attention to the monarchy nowadays, or they're just they silhouettes, or, I mean, what's going on? Don't know. But anyway, y'all make sure y'all get everybody in on listening to this, okay? Because we need the ears to hear. If you can hear me, and I'm coming in really good, go ahead and reply that if I'm coming in extremely well, 10. If I'm not, then kindly let us know so we can try to make some adjustments, okay? All right. As soon as we get a few more people in here listening, we'll go ahead and kick off the broadcast. I appreciate each and every last one of you, your prayers and your support. Don't forget, Sister to Sisters broadcast will be on tonight, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. And tomorrow I'll be on live, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time on this particular station or YouTube channel, as well as simulcasting on Blog Talk Radio and Facebook. All right. Everybody doing well, huh? If y'all here on Straightway, y'all in the community, y'all go ahead and try to make a Marco Polo, and let all the brothers and sisters and everybody know, because I'm sure that they don't want to miss it. Also, blessings to you, Rolland. Blessings. Glad to see you in here today. I want everybody to really, truly listen to me. I mean, really give me your undivided attention, because I'm going to say a few things here that's not in the mindset of people, in order to at least get you started, to help you be prepared for what I know and believe is coming down the pike. I'm hoping that it will make us proactive, and I'm really, really, truly hoping that that some way, somehow, some conviction will come upon you because you paid attention, listen to what I had to say. Now, also, I have a Patreon channel. Usually the description is down below. It's in there. Shalom, Elder. Just waiting for a few more people to come on in before we actually get started. Got a few things we need to discuss, and it is paramount that we discuss this. All right. Glory to the King. What are we in for today? All right. Hope all is well. Bless you, Australia. Glad y'all in the house. Now listen, y'all go ahead and get in touch with people and let them know that we're on live and we're broadcasting now, okay? Let them know we're on live. Hallelujah. Call up the communities heads, the home fellowships, and let them know that we're online so nobody misses it. I'm sure they'll be able to get it a little bit later, but here we are. Because you all know we have a lot going on in the world. There's a whole lot of politics, a whole lot of gutter politics, a whole lot of narcissist politics, a whole lot of stupidity coupled with pride, and nobody's going to feel the pinch and feel the pain of it but the middle class and the poor. I told you, this system that we're looking at right now, there's only going to be two classes of people: rich and poor. And if you're wise, you'll be able to survive. But now, in order to be wise, you have to listen to a wise man. Because remember, by one man's wisdom, he was able to deliver a city. So y'all listen to me very closely, all right? So we're going to go ahead and get started. We're just about at the point where we need to be at. As people continue to keep coming on in. Shalom, shalom, Brother Daniel, shalom. But y'all really need to hear. So I'll give it just a minute or two before we go on, and then I'll go ahead and get started on today's broadcast here. Because what I'm going to tell you, you're not going to find it in mainstream news media. You're not going to find it in ministries or churches, mosques, or anything, because people are totally unconcerned. But, you know, we have to have the spirit of discernment to be able to see the forest for the trees and to see what's really truly being set up for us. And if you can get even your pagan loved ones to pay attention, even listen to this, they'll probably scoff at what I got to say and kind of just chalk it up as, someone who's delusional or whatever it is. And that's how it usually plays out. That's how it usually happens. People often think that people are delusional whenever they're trying to help you. They're trying to help you in the best way possible. Shalom, Sister Koya, bless y'all. I'm glad that all the saints, the homestead, are listening. I'm glad that the sound of the trumpet has went out. So we have Australia in the house. Got a few from Canada. We're going to continue. We're going to go on now, okay? All right. So, as we watch the world today, before our eyes, start to take form in many, many different areas and ways, the distraction is the politics of everything. Keep you arguing against each other over perceived morals and values or whatever it may be. However, if you have been listening to me any length of time whatsoever at all, and I think it's actually wise for you to listen to me since, I've been a preacher pretty different than a lot of preachers in this generation. I actually believe the book to live it. I don't believe that believers or Israelites should be stacked up in population centers to be overrun by the mob. I think everybody should always have a contingency plan. I really, truly do. And we need a contingency plan based on what's coming down the pipe right now. And when I was on international shortwave radio back in 1998, 99, 2000, and I was also on many different AM and FM radio stations across this land, as well as some shortwave radios, WWCR, WNQM, WWRB, quite a few stations. We had a few people that would hear, and they would come and kind of kick the tires a little bit. Conviction a little too great because at the time, people are self-centered, self-focused, and self-absorbed, and not too many people want to make the sacrifice in order to have a little bit of pain right now in order to live like nobody else a little bit later. we're watching right before our very eyes the agenda of the New World Order, which is order out of chaos, unfold right before our very eyes. We're watching it. We're watching people get entertained to the zenith. Are you entertained? We're watching people being distracted about why we are here and what we should be doing, because we live in such a time right now that this time is unlike any other time. You see, I was born in the 60s, grew up in the 70s, and I was a little bit different than other children. I kind of paid attention to my surroundings and what was going on, had a grasp of what was going on in the 80s, understood very well. I mean, you have to understand, since I've been alive, let me see, there's been one world war that was declared. I guess you'd call it Vietnam. And then after that, we had a couple of conflicts, small ones, then Grenada. Then we had a couple of more skirmishes in Honduras and different places. I care not to mention, thank you very much, Travel and Work Channel, for your donation. Then the next thing you know, we end up in Gulf War I and Desert Shield, Desert Storm, and now we've been at this 20-year so-called war on terror, which has never been declared by Congress, but yet and still we spend hundreds of thousands of dollars. We have epidemics, pandemics, jabs, fabricated all kind of stuff all over the place. We're watching the decline of morality on a grand scale, to where there's no absolutes. There's nobody's right, nobody's wrong. Whatever you will, do as thou wilt. Goes on and on and on. We're watching water shortages all over the globe. There's water shortages. Like I stated before, I told you, Europe is getting ready to set up for failure this winter. Y'all mark my words, because this energy thing is done really taken hold in the wrong way. You see, they got these people out there that want people to bite off on this so-called quote-unquote green. I can't take phone calls right now. Somebody text Brother Yashar and tell him don't call me while I'm live. We have no discernment whatsoever at all, I tell you. So we have pretty much the majority of the European countries are trying to cram down the throats of the West, Green New Deals. We're watching Russia over here at war with Ukraine, and I told you it was going to turn into an ash heap. And I still, to the life of me, to this day, I still can't understand why we're sending billions upon billions of the Americans' taxpayer dollars and some officials that we never did choose to elect to be our so-called quote-unquote representatives. We all know we don't have a representative government. We all know that. There's no way that what's going on in America today, that this is the will of the American people. So we have even more so taxation without representation. We watched Joe Biden, who said he's the great unifier, he is the great divider. And we sit and we watch him actually fill up a football stadium. Would y'all tell Brother Yashar don't text me and call me while I'm on the... Will somebody please do that, please? So anyway, we watched Joe Biden really fill up and double and triple down on getting more IRS agents, because they have to some way, somehow try to reel in all this spending. And what do? I told you, government can't produce anything. They can only spend. That's it. They can only take. And that's what's happening. It's a sad situation. It's extremely sad, because the majority of the Americans who actually are glued to that one-eyed monster called a TV set, television, television, while you turn your favorite channel and get channeled, And then before you go there, but you look at your program while you be programmed on the television. So anyway, the ignorance is all but to the zenith. People don't really truly care about nothing that's really important, especially the future for themselves and their children, even to prepare and get ready for what's really truly happening and taking place. So here I am, a lone voice in the wilderness. And of course, I'm sure there's going to be many, many people that's going to jump on the back of this message right here and try to do something of the same and like button. So yeah, if y'all don't mind, y'all hit that like button so other people can be warned. Can y'all go ahead and continue to keep telling people that Pastor Dowell is on live? You may want to get over here. So the real question of the hour is this, and I've said this once, I said it 1,000 times, and I'm going to do it again. How do you control a population? How do you control a population? If you were Satan, if you were the government, how would you control the people? Well, it's simple. You control the food. You control the water sources. And now another thing needs to be added to it. Control the energy. Right now, there are energy wars that are going on right before our very eyes. Out in California, Gavin Newsom, who actually was behind this Biden administration by trying to force people to buy a bunch of electric cars. And of course, here we are on the Hegelian dialectic. They create the problem, they prompt a reaction, and they come up with the so-called solution. And the solution is always saddle yourself up with more debt, become more dependent upon your government for handouts. And just like it says, the book says. Thank you, Monkey Bastards, for being here. Yep, the world of tar. Yep, wheel of targe. There's just going to be a weeping howl that's going to go all throughout the United States of America because people are unprepared, ill-prepared, and in every way, shape, fashion, or form they are. And it's literally, truly sad that we can get caught up in entertainment, get caught up in so much other things, the cares of this world, the cares of this life, and then whatever lust we may have, and then throw everything else that's really, truly important to us on the back burner and think somehow that we're going to go to sleep and wake up and tomorrow is going to bring a better day. No, the world is waxing worse. Things are going from bad to worse, and you need to be prepared. The world, as we know it right now, is in some serious, serious trouble. And let me pick back up what I said about Gavin Newsom. So now California, in their cities, their population centers, are doing whatever they can to try to force people to not use energy. Even though they come up with these Green New Deals, they want people to become, we were already energy independent before Biden got in office. Now we're going around begging third world countries, we're begging people who are former enemies, we were begging these pariahs, these pariah states, we're begging them to give us some more energy now when we were already energy independent. I mean, how much more nonsensical can you get? I don't believe that they make a politician who doesn't lie. That's why it's called politics. It's just that y'all don't call politics lies because it's all about strategy. It's like when you go in the courtroom, it's all about strategy. There's no such thing as a lie. There's no such thing as the truth. It's all about who has the most strategic plan of action that can implement the plan and actually persuade others to be able to do the same. And so now this energy, so-called Green New Deal, is backfiring in California like everything. And when I say backfiring, I mean literally backfiring. Now California is burning up in the southern part of California. It's usually the northern part. Now it's the southern part. And people are losing their livelihood, insurance. And if they try to make claims, they're not paying them anymore because the insurance companies are going broke. Ain't too many people investing in them in the stock market. The stock market is on life support right now. It's being propped up by a phony dollar. This is just what we have in front of us. And it's burning up over here. It's burning up in Europe. It's burning up all over the place. And not only is it burning up, but there are literally water shortages every single where. Now, I've always told people, you know, if you want to be able to have somewhat of a survival rate with what I see coming down the pipe, not only you want to move, but you want to move to the south. And now we can actually see the reason why I'm moving to the south or the southern states is good. Has anybody ever been on an airplane? And once you pass Kansas and you head out towards the west, have you noticed how it goes from straight green to straight brown? There ain't nothing alive out there. Nothing. Nothing alive. And this year, over in the West, over in England, over in Europe, they had a lot of people because they had heat waves over there that they weren't prepared for. And because, I mean, I lived in Germany for 3 years, 2.5, 3 years, and there's no air conditioning over there. You don't need air conditioning. You do not need, nobody has AC. You don't need AC over there. And boy, they had a heat wave hit them and it killed a lot of people, Now, the West is done went and provoked the Russian bear. And they thought that they sanctions, they thought that all their denial of sending Russian aid or Russian support or trading with them goods and services, they thought that it was going to affect Putin. Well, Putin is done turned around and done shut off the gas pipeline to the Europeans over in the West. And like I said, Germany and England and France and Ireland and Switzerland and all these other places, yeah, they're going to be in some serious trouble. So what has the powers that be figured out what to do about all these energy crises that's going on in the world right now? You know what their solution is? Their solution is to charge you more for energy. Their solution is to hit you even harder in the pocketbook. You see, because the powers that be, they do really truly do not care how many people perish, how many people die in this earth right here. Because remember, according to the Georgia Guidestones, they got to get the population of this world, they got to get it down a whole lot. And 8 point something billion people is way too many. Now, the truth is, we have enough resources to be able to take care of everybody on this earth, but the greed of capitalism is real. And you can't depend on your government. And you know what? You become very dependent upon the government when you sit by and listen to people like me that gives you warning. I feel like Noah nowadays. I feel like a modern day Noah in these daytime and hour. You see me building. You see me preaching. You see me teaching. You see me warning. You see me believe what I preach and teach by watching what I do. You see it. You literally truly see it. And you watch all the other preachers and everybody else. We all can't be right now. And you watch everybody continue to keep going in their sealed homes in their cities and their sealed church houses in the cities, and people still just stacking up on top of each other and act like there's never going to be any change. Well, the world is in trouble big time, and we're seeing it. And we look at it and we never think that it's ever going to come to us. That's called cognitive dissonance. That's what that is. This climate transformation that we're dealing with today, it's all as a result of ill-advised energy policies, because there is an agenda. And that agenda is to wipe out the middle class, to wipe out the poor, and to keep people entertained, keep them about a bunch of foolishness and frivolity, so that they'll think that things are still running the way that they always have been. And one way they do this by giving you free money and continue to keep kicking the proverbial can of debt down the road and saddling it up to your children. So this winter, here in the United States of America, you're going to see a lot of people is going to have a rough time coping because they didn't get prepared. All right, I'll give you an example. The other day, I was at a gas pump, And I noticed at this particular gas pump, they had kerosene. Now, kerosene, I think up north they call it heating oil or whatever you call it. And I looked over there and it said $5.99 a gallon. That's $6. Kerosene is $6 a gallon. And I remember there was a few years ago, I started buying tanks and started having them filled up with kerosene. I gave all of our communities, I sure did, in homesteads warning, tell them what they need to do. And that's just a way that people use to heat them for themselves. Because after all, there used to be a time when people used to mock and jeer and deride and chide straightway. Now, if you notice, the finger pointing and the scoffing and mocking is every single month is becoming less and less. Every year is becoming less and less. You know, even though if people don't agree with us on some things, there are some things they really truthfully have to acknowledge. And what they have to acknowledge is, you know what, them people are ready. Them people are not only ready, but they're getting ready. And I think it's time for us, instead of just putting forth the finger and laughing, I think, if anything, we've been the fools. That's what I've had people tell me, that they've been the fools, and now they're trying to implement some of what we're doing. And now some people, you know, they're trying to do it all and stuff, but don't want the guidance because they're afraid that if they come and ask me anything like that I want to rule over them. I don't want to rule over. I want to see people. I don't want to see people suffering to what's getting ready to come down the pipe. And so the energy in this particular country right here, it's in a bad way. So you get ready for your electric bill to go up. Like I said again, Galvin Newsom is trying to make sure that he regulates the so-called free people of California by forcing them with mandates of not being able to cut on or plug up your car or to use energy or put your air conditioning at 79 degrees when it's 105 and 115 degrees over there. Can you believe this stuff? How free are y'all in these population centers now? How do you like it when you have all these lords and governors and so-called politicians and elected officials, when they continue to keep meddling around in your life, telling you exactly what to do? How you like it? How you like it living in those population centers stacked up over there right now? I tell you what, it's becoming more oppressive, isn't it? So these so-called climate policies, these climate transformations has just been ill-advised for the people. Now we're watching another thing that's going on. Yep. We're watching farmers starting to protest. They're starting to protest because of the government regulation. Listen, the government needs to figure this stuff out. Listen, you are not going to tell farmers what to do. After all, these farmers are producers. You are not going to tell the farmers what to do. And so you can try to go and wave your government policies and your government pens and everything else. These farmers are protesting. And you know how they're protesting? They're actually letting food rot in the fields. Someone said, well, PastorDowell, what does it got to do with us, PastorDowell, that they protesting stuff? Well, here's the problem. Because some of you have refused, one way or the other, to actually learn how to grow your own food, the very system that you've trusted in, the very ground beneath your feet is just about to give way. And you just assume that you're going to wake up one morning and be able to just go down to your local grocery store and food is going to be on the shelves. You assume that. You're going to assume that. See, when they cry peace and safety, there will be sudden destruction. There will be sudden destruction. And that's why I tell you, you better tell your ignorant, natural, passive, unconvicted family members, loved ones, or friends, you better tell them that, you know what, I think you better start listening to this preacher over here, this pastor over here. I think he's really truly telling, because who can name what I've missed everything that I have called in the ministry, name one thing that I've missed. Elder Rufus, tell them how much have I missed, Elder Rufus, when I get out there and start giving warning, because warning always comes before destruction. You see, if the farmers are protesting, you depend on the farmers. You don't realize that you depend on the farmers because you have always had the luxury afforded to you to just drive in your car and go to the grocery store and assume that the trucks were going to continue to keep running and food is going to be on the shelf. And so you don't see any need right now to go out there and put your hands in the dirt. You don't see any need to till the soil. You don't see any need right now to grow any green beans or to grow your own food or to store heirloom seeds or to learn how to garden. You don't see any need for it right now because you know what? It's always been that way for you. I mean, they've got you right where they want you. 100% sloth, 100% dependent upon them. And then when the rug been snatched out from under you, you're in a population saying, what happened? Man, can you imagine the chaos that's going to take place in these population centers when everybody is trying to get to the grocery store and buy that last pack of water or buy that last pack of cheese? Can you imagine that? And can you imagine if you make it outside the store, the mobs that you're going to have to face in order to be able to get in your vehicle and get home? Can you imagine that? Oh, Pastor Dow, you're painting a picture that is just fear-mongering, right? Call it what you want. Call it what you want. I remember telling the people in Puerto Rico, listen, y'all are getting hit with disasters, hurricanes. And it's decimating your country. Listen to me, Puerto Rico. The grid is going down. You better start storing food. You better start getting some water. You better start getting some pots. And you better start making sure you shore up your position. Because that just ain't one hurricane that did that. That's more coming. And guess what? More came. More came. And now I've got more people in Puerto Rico that's paying attention to what I've said to them than their own government and the people over there, the so-called preachers. You have to understand, when energy prices start soaring, every time they make a policy and they tell you, we're going to have to pull ourselves up by our bootstraps. We're going to feel the pain. The politicians and the rich is not going to feel the pain. You are going to feel the pain, the working class people. You are going to feel the pain, those who are scoffers and mockers, listen to me and didn't do anything about it. You're going to feel the pain that put pressure on your obedient wife or your obedient husband, and you've been nothing but a monkey wrench in their side, and anytime they try to prepare, all you try to do is just bring chaos, dissension, and disagreement in the home to bring more division, and then all of a sudden, you're going to find yourself in the government food line, and how's that going to work for you? So the West, whether people like it, lump it, or understand it or not, is conceding ground to Putin. Yeah, Russia is actually winning this. They're winning it on all fronts. Look at all the sanctions that the West and everybody's done imposed up on Russia. What has it done? What has it done for them? Russia still exists. Now they're cutting off energy supplies, gas supplies, natural gas. They're cutting off things to the actual West who is dependent upon them. And they are still raining down bombs. How's that working for you? So the West passively, and you get this little dismal warning by a frail, decrepit, so-called president and commander-in-chief, Joe Biden. Russia, stop this war. Who listening to him? Ain't nobody listening to him. He's arrogant to think that somebody even paying attention to him. He don't even pay attention to himself. You don't never know when he's going to check in and when he's going to check out. You never know. And mind you, we're running 250-something days since this president ain't even gave a press conference, a news conference. And I mean, wouldn't the people like to hear this great unifier? Y'all go ahead and hit that like button, y'all. Come on, help me out now. Hit that like button. Let's get the likes up, okay? Help out old Pastor Dowell to try to get this message of salvation out in some way, shape, fashion, or form. No, I'm not talking about saving your soul. Right now, I'm talking about saving your hide. So y'all hit that like button, okay? Get the likes up, y'all. They are bringing about chaos methodically and slowly. Now, y'all listen to me. They are bringing about chaos methodically and slowly. We have 1,000 people in here listening to the broadcast right now. And you need to make sure that you don't get caught up in the dog and pony show. So what is the solution? The solution is things that you thought that you couldn't do, such as farm your own land, get some pots, grow some food, store food, get your food. Store canned goods. Every single time you go to the grocery store, since they're there now, every time you go to the grocery store, buy a canned good. Because, you don't know how to can like grandmama did. If you have your own home, install a wood stove. Up here in this northern hemisphere, wood is in abundance. Why you think America's still spends the majority of their money building houses out of wood? It's in abundance. Get an independent source of heating. And of course, I cannot stress enough, it's one thing to have firearms, but you need to learn how to be responsible and proficient. Because you can have all these resources, and then if they go unprotected, and you don't know how to protect yourself. And see, if you're in your own little home, I'm telling you, close to these population centers, the mob is coming. The mob is coming. And when you have a roving mob of 16 and 20 people, and they come up on your homestead, they're going to take what you got. They're going to take it. And all you have is your little family. If you have you're a husband and a wife, and you have 3 children, you cannot stay up and pull guard duty 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So therefore, what have I always said? You need to learn how to be mutually assisted with somebody who's awoke, somebody that can actually see the forest for the trees. But remember, warning always comes before destruction. People may be laughing and mocking us now, but they ain't gonna laugh and mock too much more longer. I promise you that. They're already starting to feel the pain. They're already starting to feel the pain. Y'all help get my likes up, okay? Please get the likes up. Y'all here listening. So start buying food. Top ramen. Get you some top ramen. Buy you some bags of rice. If you can afford it, don't just go buy the cheap stuff. Get the premium stuff because it will last longer. And then label what you have in store. After all, which one of you out there, can y'all be honest with this? Which one of y'all are actually producing food year-round for your family, your homestead, or your community? Let's be truthful. And I said growing year-round, not just in the spring and summer. I said growing food year-round. Which one of you are doing that? Year-round growing food. If you don't mind, chime on in. Because if you can't answer that, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. You see what I'm talking about? Do y'all see what I'm talking about just by watching some of the answers on here? Now people decide to be mute. Now we got 1,066 people in here, and nobody wants to answer now, just a few people. I realize that the community does. Yeah, trusting in Yah. Do you know how people trust in Yah? See, it's that type of thinking right there that's going to get you in trouble. You know how many times I heard people say they trust in Yah, but yet they will not be obedient and do a damn thing that he says? But you trusting in Yah. How many accounts do we have in the book where people are so-called going to trust in Yah? You ever heard of the 5 wise and 5 foolish? The key is that you got 10 virgins. Chosen, 5 wise, 5 foolish. And the moral of the account of that story is the wise had oil in their lamps and prepared, but the foolish sat passively by, trusting in Yah. Didn't do anything to prepare, trusting in Yah. And then when the trumpet began to sound and the bridegroom started to come, all of a sudden those who were foolish, who did prepare, who had at ease in Zion, went to the wise and said, give us of your oil. And they said, not so. You know how to go. You go and buy just like we did. And as they went, the bridegroom came. See, I know. See, we got all these religious people out here, wise. Listen. Faith come by hearing. Hearing comes by the word of Yah. And they can't hear without a preacher. Faith without works is dead. And that's what I mean you're going to find yourself at, dead. I'm telling you. So keep on passively using your Christian theology to trust in Yah and not prepare and not do anything. And see how that's going to work out for you. See how it's going to work out for you. But the powers that be are going to make energy more expensive. There's going to be a lot of people dying this winter. Y'all go ahead and just listen to what I'm saying. There's going to be a lot of people dying. There's going to be a lot of suffering people this winter. A lot of suffering people this winter. And I want y'all to get yourselves together and start thinking right. I mean, all the Israelites in here and those who are affiliated and associated with Straightway, they'll tell you, I've tried my best and I've made it a point to tell them when to buy lumber, when not to buy lumber, when to buy land, when not to buy land, when to buy resources, commodities, and when not to buy them. They'll tell you. I'll talk a lot over here on Patreon about it too. Ask all the community heads in there, do I not keep them well informed? And ask them, how often does it come to pass? Whew. Mass starvation is coming to America. Y'all remember on Noah, how Noah, he was warning the whole world? We have 1,105 people in this room now. Do y'all remember how Noah was warning the whole entire world? And Noah was out there building that ark 120 years. And people would come down every Friday night, booze, full of wine, mocking Noah. Yeah, they would. Yeah, they would. Noah, what you doing, boy? What you doing, old man? You a crazy old man. Well, I'm preparing an ark. An ark, what is that? I'm going to make a big old boat. You going to make a big old boat? Out here? No, the lake is over there. The river is over there. The sea is over there. Why are you making a big old ark on dry land over here? Well, the Most told me it's going to rain. It's going to what? Rain. Rain? What the hell is rain? You know, that water that's coming up out of the earth, it's going to fall from the sky. Now we know he's a crackpot in a coop. Noah said it is actually going to rain. He's telling us, trying to convince us to believe that water is actually going to fall from the sky. I ain't never. Boy, Noah, now we know you crazy. You are off of your ever-loving rocker. Man, I tell you what, old man, keep on with your fairy tales, keep building your ark. Oh, don't worry, I will. And I'm going to keep on preaching to you, too. You better prepare yourself. For what? The rain. Oh, that's right. You want us to prepare for the water that's coming up out of the earth. Now you expect for us to believe that it's going to fall from the sky. Have y'all ever heard anything so chaotically insane before in y'all life? Have you? Look at you, Noah. You got 7 other people under this strong delusion that you so-called are hearing from the Most High. And you are getting look at this big old massive monstrosity right here. Noah said, I really would like to help if y'all help. And then once, if you help, you can actually come on into the ark. No, we ain't going inside that thing. Oh, no. No, we're not going inside that thing. Noah, I got a question for you, Noah. You said that rain is going to fall from the sky, the same water, that stuff, aqua, that's coming up out of the earth. You said it's going to fall from the sky, right? And you building this big old ark that you call a boat. Yep, sure am. And look at the size of that door. Noah, there's no way that you, your sons, even if you ask us to help you, there's no way we could shut that door. Well, the door is not intended upon me shutting the door. The Most High is going to shut the door. Oh, here we go again. And Noah, how do you suppose the Most High is going to do that, Noah? Well, he's just going to raise it up himself. So you mean to tell me the Most High is going to come all the way down from Shemaim, from heaven, and he's just going to automatically just close the door? Yep. How you going to do it? With his hand. Are we going to see his hand, Noah? No. You're going to see his power, though. The same power that's going to cause that water to fall from the sky is going to be the same power to shut that door. And once the master rises up and shuts to the door, if you ain't in that ark, you all are going to perish. Now, you know what, Noah? This stuff was funny. At first, it was funny. But see, now you're getting me mad. You're getting me upset now, Noah. See, you out here building this thing. We talk about it, and now you got even our people out here doubting what if Noah's telling the truth. And I've got to make sure that I keep them staying sane by letting you know that Noah's insane. He just an old man that's just damn insane. Something wrong with him. He got a screw loose. I don't know what. Noah been doing too much of something. I don't know what it is. But whatever Noah's on is some chronic. I can tell you that. Well, I'm going to keep on preaching righteousness to you, and I'm going to keep on building this ark with or without your help. So I'm going to give warning. Well, all of a sudden, one day, they see all these animals. They saw the clean beast come on to the ark. 7 males and 7 females. And then they saw the unclean beast. Swine, pig, pork chop. They saw 2 unclean males and 2 unclean females. Saw them coming on. And all of a sudden they saw all these animals coming up on this ark right here. What kind of magic is Noah using to get all these animals to come up on this ark? Noah, what kind of voodoo are you using? Huh? I mean, we seen you out here making sacrifices. So what did you do? What kind of spells did you put on these animals to get them to come over in this ark? Nothing. This is how the Most High is going to preserve and repopulate the earth. So you telling us, Noah, that the Most High is the one who's calling these animals to get up here on the ark? Yeah, Noah, yep, sure, yep. And they got more sense than you do. Oh, so you like throwing slurs at us, huh? Huh? You like disparaging us. You like mocking us. No, we're mocking you. Because, see, you the fool, Noah. You the one that's saying that if you ain't in this ark, that's what you said. We've heard you carefully, Noah. You said that if you ain't in this ark, you're going to die. You're going to perish. And by the way, Noah, we didn't even ask you that. We already heard you say that rain is going to fall from the sky. So, and somehow, some way, that this big old ark that you call a boat, what's going to happen to this? Why, it's going to float. Float. Now, wait a minute. Did y'all hear what Noah just got finished saying? He said that this thing is going to float. Oh, man. Float on what, Noah? Why, it's going to rain for 40 days and 40 nights. Sure is. And water is going to cover the whole entire earth. And there's not going to be one soul left alive. And this thing is going to float. It's going to be the only thing that is floating. All right, Noah. I tell you what, old man. You go ahead and enjoy your question, your fairy tales. We're going back down to the city, and we're going to party and live it up. Well, Noah's preaching to his family, and his family says, Noah, when all this going to happen? Well, it's time to get into the ark. You want us to get into the ark in the color of night? Yeah, time to go in now. Noah, I mean, they kind of had a point. How are we going to shut that door? Don't worry about it. As soon as we get in that ark, you'll see. So Noah and his family went into the ark, and all of a sudden, that door, that big, gigantic door that had no pulleys on it, all of a sudden, it raised up and closed. Well, you better believe that the family believe it now. Well, they're sitting inside his ark with all these animals. They have to tend to all these animals and care for them and stuff. And then all of a sudden, they hear something going. No, what's that? That's that water. Water. Yeah. You remember I told you about that water is going to start falling from the sky? Yep, there it comes. Well, all of a sudden, all the people that mocked Noah, all the people that derided and chided him and scoffed at him and make fun of him, guess where they're at now? Beating on the side of the ark. Hey, Noah! Yeah. What do you want? Open up the door, Noah. Let us in. It's raining, just like you said it would be. Water is falling from the sky. Well, I really would like to, but I can't. I told you, I did not open the door, nor did I close the door. You're going to talk to the Most High. What? Talk to the Most High. Come on, Noah. We're talking to you. You can't depend on me to open up that door because I didn't shut it. And if I didn't shut it, I can't open it. Well, the water starts getting up a foot high. All right, come on, Noah. Let's stop the charades. Stop the shenanigans. Let's stop the dismal games that you're playing and stuff. Come on, Noah, now. Now, hey, we're starting to get a little bit worried out here. It's still raining, and it ain't stopped. And the water's starting to get high out here, Noah. Well, when the water gets up about 4 feet, people start heading towards the mountains. Some people are still sitting there beating on the ark, thinking that they're going to be able to get in. When the water gets up to 5 feet, everybody starts heading for the hills. Ain't nobody beating on the ark no more. Water gets up to 10 feet. Nobody's in the lowland, low country now. About this time, that big old ark is starting to move around a little bit. Well, now the water is definitely above sea level. And the water is probably 400 feet deep now. Oh, yeah, the ark is floating now. And all those people, they went to those mountains. Well, the water got 5,000 feet deep. Now everything is covered up. And all those people that mocked, that pointed fingers, that laughed at him and scoffed at him, they sure did. They laughed at Noah, they scoffed at him, they're all dead now. And the only ones that are left alive are Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, Noah's wife, and their wives. That's it. The wise bought oil. The foolish perished. What are you going to do if you don't start preparing right now? Well, PastorDowell, we've been hearing these stories all along. You can't see the forest for the trees right now. You can't tell that everything we've been talking to you about, been telling you about, you can't tell that all this stuff is coming to pass right now. You can't see it. Are you blind in one eye, can't see out the other? You don't see what's going on in this world right now? The West Coast is burning up. Europe is finally burning up. Water It's a shortage everywhere now. They can't find good, clean water nowhere. And over here in the east, like I've been telling people, you need to come over here to the southeast. Come over here to the south. Like I've been telling people, we ain't got to move out. It's too hot, too humid. You better worry about too hot and too humid. You getting ready to work. You got a whole lot more heat to worry about than we do because y'all burning up. And it's raining so much over here, it's flooding. It's flooding in places and areas. And not only that, there's wildlife prolific over here. Deer running everywhere, all over the place. Wow. Man. And you know what? Because people are listening to this one wise man right here, I'm able to save a few people out of each area. Just a few people. By my wisdom. And if you really truly want to know if I'm convicted and believe what I say, then watch my footprint. My footprint don't lie. And watch the footprint of those who follow me as I follow Messiah. Let me end this video by making sure that I reiterate some things that I said. Find you a wood stove and get some reliable pipes and even some backup pipes. If you don't have lighters, you better start going to the store and buying lighters because most of you don't know how to rub two rocks together or two sticks together to get fire. Most of you don't even know what a Fresnel lens is in order to get fire from the sun. I've showed you. If you go back and you look at my videos 8-10 years ago, you'll see me outside in a dead of winter with snow. And I take this Fresnel lens. It looks like a little flappy piece of plastic. And I find sun on a cloudy day. And I put that little Fresnel lens down on a piece of paper. And you watch that paper burn, created fire right there without a flint, without rocks or sticks. Things I tried to teach you over the years, but I get it. Well, now we're far along removing that, and we're nearer to the destruction than we were yesterday. Don't trust in this government. Some trust in chariots. Some trust in horses. But we will remember the name of Yahweh Elohim. You can believe that. If your preachers out there are not giving you warning before this destruction, you better flee. You had better save yourselves from this untoward generation. You better come out of her, my people, again. Again. All this politicking, all these little test runs and trials and everything is there to test your temperature. It's there to see exactly how you're going to move, who you're going to believe, who you're going to trust in. Well, 1,237 people in here listening now. That's what it's about. And you better make sure that whoever you're listening to, they better be called of Yah. You better make sure whoever you listen to that the convicting power of the Holy Spirit is there. The powers that be are bringing about this chaos slowly. Very slowly and methodically. And they're doing it just right, a little bit at a time, a little chaos at a time. And what do they believe? Why, their motto is order out of chaos. They believe they can get all kinds of order out of chaos. Create a chaotic condition. Let the people become 100% dependent upon us. Take away their ability to resist, take away their firearms, and we got them right where we want them. They'll be eaten out of our hands. Well, now there's going to be a lot of people going to the guillotine. That's what it seems like. A lot of people end up going to the guillotine. A lot of people going to end up perishing. You know, I hope I said something in this 1 hour live broadcast that I've decided to come on here and do. To let you know that the farmers, they're kicking back now. You better become farmers yourself. I hope that some way, somehow I've been able to stimulate thought. I hope that even if you do, yeah, even if you do, yeah, but the difference between me and other people is I'm actually doing it. These people talk about it, but they don't do it. So y'all see the difference? Blessed are not the hearers, but the doers. And I wonder where they get it from. Because, I mean, I've been on air a long time, so a lot of times people are regurgitating what I'm saying. So anyway, I hope you become farmers. I hope you start becoming wise and storing up for you and your loved ones, especially if you can't do it for yourself, do it for the children. And don't expect for your natural family to come along. They're going to protest. They're going to think you're crazy too. So the ideal is come out of her, my people. Be ye separate, saith the Messiah, and touch not the unclean thing, and he will receive you. And then he also says, come out of her, my people. So you have a choice, and you have a decision. Save yourselves from this untoward generation. Save yourselves from this untoward generation. So I wish you all well. I bless you all in the sweet, precious, and strong, and victorious, and mighty, overcoming name of our soon-coming King, Yahshua HaMashiach, Jesus, the real Messiah. Y'all be encouraged. Shalom, shalom. The King, Israel, is coming. You just heard the truth, and that's the truth straightway. Bless y'all. See y'all at Patreon.